Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you today? I hope you all are safe and well. We studied in physics about electromagnets. Previously, we studied about electromagnets. And we said that what is electromagnet? Electromagnet means magnet using electricity. Or we use electricity to make a magnet work. So a bar magnet is a permanent magnet, but we can turn off and on electromagnet using a current, which is the electricity current. So a current flowing through a wire produces a magnetic field. So this is how the electromagnet works. An electromagnet is is a coil of wire usually wrapped around an iron core. So what is this and how can we make electromagnet? We can make it simply by using, let's say this is an iron piece or iron nail, and we need to wrap a coil around it. Most of the time we are using copper because copper is good conductor of electricity. So if we connect this coil to a battery and we closed the circuit, this bar of magnet will work as this bar of iron nail will work as a magnet. Okay, it will work as a magnet. If we opened the circuits, which is switch off the electricity, in this case, it will turn off and it will be just an iron nail. So this is how can the electromagnet works. So we talked about even around this wire or around this magnet or electromagnet, we have something called magnetic field. What is this magnetic field? This magnetic field can attract any magnetic metal. So if we switched on the electricity or switched on the circuit, it will attract any magnetic metal such as iron, such as copper, steel, so it will attract it easily. If we switched it off, in this case, we will go back as an ordinary iron nail, so it will just work as an iron nail. Today we will talk about how can we use electromagnets and where can we use them. Okay, follow me please and grab your notebooks and pens or pencils. Switching off, how can we switch off electromagnets? The radiographer who operate X-ray machines, so this is called radiographer. This person can operate the X-ray machines. We noticed that these people can operate the machine from a distance, okay? They can operate this machine from a distance. So why they are doing this? Why it's dangerous for them to operate this machine closely or turn it off and turn it on by their hand manually? They cannot do this because this can have very high voltage, so they need to stay away from it. They cannot expose to this machine for a long time because this machine can destroy living tissues and living cells, because it's using electromagnetic magnets, and around this machine has electromagnetic field. So they run it on and off using a relay. So what is this relay? What is this relay? A relay is electrical device that allow current flowing through it in one circuit to switch on and off a large current in a second circuit. So what does all this mean? Let's see together. So we can use a very simple or small circuit we can use a small circuit. This is, for example, a small circuit. Let's draw a battery. This is positive side and this is negative side. Okay, this is a what? This is a simple circuit with a battery and wire. Okay, we can use this circuit to operate another big one. It has very high voltage battery. This is negative side and this is positive side. Okay, so how does this work exactly? In this case, between them, we have a coil, okay? So if we start or switch on this circuit, okay, this current will pass through this coil to this circuit, it will turn it on. So even if we switch this circuit off, even this circuit will be switched off automatically. So in this case, we will be safe from the high voltage. Also, we're using this, we can use this to make something called a reed switch. So what is this reed switch? A reed switch is a switch that uses a magnet to work. So without this magnet, we cannot use this, we cannot work this switch. When the machine uses a high voltage, we said we need to use a relay. So what this relay is a simple circuit that's used to turn off and on a high voltage circuit, such as in X-ray machines and the MRI machines, which is the machines that use magnet or electromagnet to work or to take photos inside the bodies. We can see them in hospitals. So how can we make this simple relay? We can make it with reed switch, which is two pieces of magnetic materials with a gap between them. So how can we make this? If you wind a coil of wire around the outside of and pass a current through it, the two reeds are magnetized, so they will attract each other and they will touch each other. So the circuit will complete and they will, the current will flow through them. So they will work as a magnet and they will be magnetized. So they will create a magnetic field around them. They attract each other and touch. If the reeds are part of another circuit, then current will flow in the second circuit when they touch. So let's see how can we do this. So these are pieces of magnetic materials. Let's say iron, okay? They are in a piece of glass, okay? We put them in a piece of glass, okay? Then we will come with a coil of copper and coil it or wrap it around this piece of glass. It's like a tube, okay? If we connect this to a battery, in this case, we will have a current that flow in this direction, okay? Sorry, not this one. Okay. The current will pass from the negative side to the positive side, okay? So when this will flow through from the negative side, it will reach the coil it will pass the whole coil and make this piece of iron come together. So they will touch each other like this. They will be magnetized, they will act like a magnet, and they will touch each other. If they touch each other, that means they are magnetized. So what do we call the field around them? We call it magnetic field. Okay, we call it magnetic field around them. So let's say this coil or this reed switch is a part of another circuit, high voltage circuit. So if we have here a lamp, this is a symbol for a lamp, the lamp will be on. Why? Because this circuit is completed now. So that's how the reed switch is work, or how this reed switch work. Okay, let's go back to this paragraph. How can we use electromagnets in cars? We all know that cars work with electricity, but do we know that we are using electromagnets in cars? Okay, let's see together. When you run the car, especially boys, when you turn or run the car engines, first you will run the key. Okay, what's happening inside or behind this key? Behind this key, we have a starter motor. So how does this work? When a driver runs a key, a current flows in the coil of wire, which produces a magnetic field around it. So we can say it's kind of a reed switch. They are using a reed switch. So when the coil of wire produces a magnetic field, so there is a piece of iron inside it will be magnetized. So this will magnetize the iron armature. The iron armature, it's like the iron piece that starts the motor, or we can say the starter motor, like the beginning of the motor, okay, which is contains iron piece. So it will be magnetized, and we all know that iron is magnetic material or magnetic metal. So it will be attracted towards the contacts. These contacts are two wires that have high current circuits with they are using high current circuit connected to the batteries. That's why they are calling them contacts. They are connected to the battery. We will explain this on the whiteboard. Let's read first. Then this will complete the circuit and of the starter motor, and then the battery powers it. So in this case, the car will be on. We can run the car. Okay, let's draw this together, okay? This is the iron armature. This is the starter motor, okay? And we have inside it iron armature. This is the iron armature, which is this one, okay? And then we have here two pieces of these contacts, okay? And they have wires here and wire there. Also, we have another thing. These contacts, they are attached from this side also. So they will be attracted, or the iron will be attracted to them. And then we have a coil around the whole piece. So this coil attached to what? Attached to the key, the car key. This is the car key. So if we start it, or if we runs it, okay, this current will flow through the coil, and it will magnetize the iron piece. So the iron piece will be attracted to these points, which is, we call them contacts. So here, a high voltage, these are connected to a high voltage battery, and then the battery will powers it. In this case, you can start the engine, or you can run the car. It only takes a small current to operate the electromagnets, so it could be dangerous if the driver had to switch it on directly. So this is like using a relay. This small circuit, which is the iron armature or the starter motor, this is, we call it relay. This relay will protect the driver from running the car directly with the hands, with the wire, touching the wire. Some people, if they lost their keys, or they stole, we can see them like stealing cars in movies and these stuff, they're running the car with touching two wires together, and it will give them a spark. This spark could be dangerous because it can kill them. It can kill them because it uses a high voltage battery. Okay, let's see together how can we also use the electromagnet in fire doors. In very big buildings, they are using doors. They call them fire doors. They can close automatically using electromagnetic field or electromagnets to close and open automatically. So they can, during the fire, they can shut the doors automatically to protect the building, or to prevent the fire from being spread all over the place. So how does this work? A fire door can be held open by electromagnetic switch on the wall. So we have a switch on the wall. Sorry. So this is the wall, okay? And we have here on the wall, we have switch, okay? And we have the door. This is the door. This is the door. And this is the switch. Okay, so most of the time the door is held by this electromagnet, because electricity flows through the circuit. So this this door will be held by the electromagnet. The door will be open. Okay, it will be attracted to the switch, so it will be open. During the fire, the circuit will break and we will lose electricity or flow of current. In this case, the door will be released, or the electromagnet field will be shut down, and so no more magnetized door. So in this case, the door will shut automatically and prevent the fire from escaping. So this is about using the fire doors. Let's see how can they use this in bills, electric bills. By electric bills, some doorbells, they contain electromagnets, so they operate like a relay, but with an important differences. When a visitor passes a current, press the button, they will pass a current through the coil around a piece of iron. I will show you a video how can these work and how can the electromagnetic electric bills work, okay?
Electric bell. Magnet is used in an electric bell. An electric bell has an iron hammer, structures of metal around which the wire is wound. When we press the button of an electric bell, the current begins to flow through the electric wire, turning metal structures into temporary magnets. The magnet attracts the iron hammer. The hammer strikes the metal bell to produce a sound. At this stage, the connection between the screw and the hammer is broken, and the electric current stops. The magnetism of the coil is lost, and the hammer goes back to its original position. The electrical circuit is completed by joining of the screw and the hammer, and the bell rings. The process is repeated, and the bell rings intermittently.
Okay, so this was about how can they use electromagnets in doors, in electric bells, and how can they use a relay. So I hope you understood the lesson. If you have any questions, we will discuss them together later. I hope to see you soon in the next lesson, and stay safe, please. Okay.